Welcome to a special edition of the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. Today's podcast is highlighted by some of this week's best Undisputed segments. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. James Harden is expected to win the MVP award this season, and he could even be a unanimous choice. But LeBron James has someone else in mind if he had a vote. Himself. LeBron said, I would vote for me. The body of work, how I'm doing it, what's been happening with our team all year long, how we've got so many injuries and things of that nature, guys in and out to be able to still keep this thing afloat. I would definitely vote for me. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Stephen Jackson. Welcome.
Stacks, I ain't trying to hit his fool with big stacks. Don't come up here with it.
I know somebody else will vote for him.
Like 100 times,
exactly.
like fan votes where you just keep...
I'm stuffing the ballot box.
Yeah.
Computer to computer.
Do you like that LeBron said this?
I'm not surprised. I said this earlier. He's the only superstar that has to be told he's great. He's been patting himself on the back all year. This is the first year he's done that, so I don't know what's going on. But, even after the game where he posted his stats and said, I'm just doing my part, all this stuff, this is the first time that I've seen him do this. I don't know what it is, why he's doing it, but I'm not surprised. But players been selling themselves for the last couple of years. Look at All-Star. Ever since social media has been big in the NBA, a lot of guys have been promoting themselves, make All-Star, all kind of stuff. So I'm not surprised, but the best player in the league, the best player in the game, the star, this is new to me that he promotes himself so much. When we all know he's great. We pat him on the back enough. No. You pat him on the back enough. So he shouldn't have to pat him.
But I have to excessively heap praise because somebody across from me always trying to find a reason.
Trying to tell the truth?
No, you ain't telling no truth. I got no problem with what he said because he ain't lying. You make it seem like he lied.
He ain't lying.
No, he ain't lying. And Skip, the term that you like to use, I think 2018, you like to use the term degree of difficulty. And what he's been able to do. Think about this. Stacks, 11 days ago against the Chicago Bulls, this was LeBron James' starting lineup. Jeff Green, Jose Calderon, George Hill, and Ante Zizic. That's what he started with. Yeah, that's what he went to battle with.
Do you want me to give the Bulls starting lineup?
That's what he went to battle with.
Okay. It probably was worse.
That's why they're in the lottery. But this team, the third seed in the East. And if you look at it, and people are like, whoa, LeBron is averaging 3 fewer points, but LeBron is averaging more rebounds, more assists, shoots 10% higher from the field goal, 37. James Harden from the 3. LeBron is 36. And Harden takes 10, LeBron 6. So it's not as far-fetched as one would think. I don't have no problem. See, they always say, I want the athlete to be honest. Why don't you tell the truth? Don't give us that, oh, golly shucks, gee whiz. And the man tell you, yeah, I need it. I should be it. But people like some people I know, you too, Stacks, no, you ain't getting up out of here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Don't want to give that man his credit. I told you. Barney Porter told me, said, boy, you don't need nobody to pat you on the back as long as you got 2 good hands.
Right.
Pat yourself on the back. And LeBron is doing it. Doing a good job of it, too. Watch what he do tonight. Bet he have a triple dub.
You know what my mom always told me?
What'd she say?
You're going to break your arm trying to pat yourself on the back. You ever hear that one?
Yeah.
So I want to repeat what the great Stephen Jackson just said a moment ago. He's the only superstar that has to be told he's great. The only superstar. And that's true. I've been telling you that all year. He is the biggest self-promoter in the history of sports at the highest level. And he is at the highest level. We all get that and know that, but that's for us to decide, not for him to tell us to decide.
Sometimes you forget. Don't tell me. But then when you forget, why didn't you tell me?
15 years?
Yeah. Y'all
been told every year for 15 years. That's not enough?
So I'm going to take this seriously because offensively, he is off the charts. And he's trying to make a statement that in year 15, no one has ever done this. And I give you that. Does that make him the MVP of the league? No.
Not at all.
But he is blazing new territory. He's setting a new standard for a year 15 player that I've never seen before. And he looks sensational. His body, it looks like it's the best it's ever been. I give you all that.
So let me ask you a question. If he had, let's just say he had a C.J. McCollum all year, or he had a Chris Paul all year, where would LeBron James be?
We can't do that. We got to deal with the task at hand.
Well, so he needs to be MVP then.
Wait a second.
The biggest thing is they need to worry about losing games with Kelly Olynyk being the leading scorer. going into the playoffs. That's the bigger picture.
We don't worry
Wait a
about no
second.
seed. Didn't I tell you about that
Bigger
seed?
picture.
It can be a mustard seed, a pumpkin seed.
Yeah.
And LeBron James will take that and a bottle of water and make it grow into the Eastern Conference Finals and see the Houston Rockets in the NBA Finals.
Wait.
That's what he can do.
Wait, LeBron James' team got bullied by Man Bun last night?
Yeah,
By Kelly Olynyk?
yeah.
He just dominated
Mickey,
the game.
I thought somebody might have
Mickey?
slipped him a Mickey or
Mickey?
something the way they were playing out there.
Debo, Kevin Love,
Yeah, you-
bowl you
and
in the
all-
mouth, get you out of here.
What?
And they wouldn't call no fouls on LeBron, but you see when LeBron put that bow in Tyler Johnson's throat, they backed up off him. They backed up off. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you got to just go out there like this here.
So if LeBron had even more all-star help, then he wouldn't be able to stuff the stat sheet.
Yes,
like
he
He's
would.
been stuffing it, and he's been stuffing it on a nightly basis.
He had Kyrie last year and set career highs in rebounds and assists.
Well, he's now setting new career
Yeah!
highs in rebounds and assists, and he's second in the league in assists, and he's a career best 16 triple-doubles and a career best 45 double-doubles. Sensational.
Sensational.
Okay? He is third in PER, which is not sensational because he's won PER, that's player efficiency rating, 6 times in his career.
Yeah.
This is just a middling year for him
How
in
many
PER.
guys in year 15 has been third in PER?
Well, that's the point, and that's
Yeah,
the only point you
go,
can make.
Go to give that warning.
Okay, but that's all. Are we doing it in year 15, or are we doing it? Are you the best
Let
player
me ask
in
you
the
a
league?
question. Well, since you're talking about he ain't playing defense.
Wait, why don't we create a new award that'll be who's the MVP of the year 15 players? Oh, I'll give it to LeBron.
Oh, that's what you did for
Yeah,
Tom
you
Brady?
can have that.
That's what you did
I
for Tom
did not.
Brady? Yeah,
he
you
won,
gave it to-
he won the whole award for the whole league.
I
The
know.
22-year-olds they're eligible for that award.
Well, let me ask you, well, if you don't mind me asking, who played better defense, LeBron or James Harden?
Neither.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
In defensive win shares right now, James Harden ranks 35th in the league, which is pretty high.
That's Bobo.
35.
You know that's a Bobo
He
stat.
does because he's a career high in steals of 1.8, almost 2 steals a game for James Harden. LeBron James has now plummeted to 346th in individual defensive
He only
play.
dropped 2 spots last night after that performance?
Yeah, 346.
He always been good at blocking shots, on ball defending.
Yeah.
Neither one of them good.
So check this out. In plus minus for the year, James Harden is plus 518, which is just off the charts, as is Houston's
Yeah,
record.
they ain't lost for 14 games. What you expect them to
61
be?
and 14.
That's why he's the MVP.
Plus
Stop.
518.
What's LeBron?
LeBron for the whole year is plus 9. Plus 9?
Yeah.
That's like a 500 rating. That's like, well, what you are is you're 44 and 30, and you're only a half game ahead of the Sixers and the Pacers in the 3rd slot. So you could fall to the 5th slot tonight.
You
You
could. I bet you ain't nobody. Ooh, man, I sure hope I get the Cavaliers in the first round. Who's saying that, Skip?
I don't
Who's saying
know.
that, Stacks? Who you think saying that? Oh, I want LeBron James in my building round 1.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cleveland don't want the Bucks first round either.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So-
the Bucks
They
ain't doing
don't.
that.
No.
So
Oh, yeah,
the-
actually, I think, didn't Jason Terry say that?
Hold on. They just beat the Bucks 4 times this year.
Yeah.
They 4-1. I hope we get the Bucks. I guarantee
Okay.
a melee.
All right.
Them old hotel vacuums. They get all that go. One time over. You ain't got to do it like
So-
one time over.
The man who is promoting himself for MVP is second worst in the NBA in turnovers and a career worst 314 turnovers. And he has the 5th worst free throw percentage of his career. He's only 73% from the free throw line. This man can shoot. He knows that you
can
got to
get
make your
free
free
throws. You gotta
throws.
make his free
You
throws.
gotta make your
He
free
gonna get on
throws.
up there.
What are we down to? Like 6 games left?
Yeah,
you lost your bet. You bet me a whole case of Diet Mountain Dew.
we-
He'd be 80 plus.
Well, he gonna
Oh,
go to
that
hot.
was a bad bet.
He gonna finish over 75%. He gonna get on a hot streak.
well, you're going to lose the bet
but that's
anyway.
okay. He gonna beat over 75.
The turnover part, I don't really trip on because if you look at the turnovers every year, the top
right.
5 players are always at the top of the turnover.
And,
train.
and
They
look
got
at what
the
he's
ball
trying.
most.
Look at the pass he's trying to make. Because when he's doing these no looks and he's skipping the ball cross court
Yeah.
and he's going between guys' legs, so he tries things, and that's what good guy. I mean,
He has to, though.
Yeah,
He has to.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. He should be the
So
MVP.
the team LeBron leads has now fallen into a tie for 28, so it's second to last in overall defense. That's not very good, man.
No, they're not a very good defensive team.
Oh.
Skip.
Is it ironic that he's having the best year that he's probably ever had, and he has the worst team? Like, is it possible that he just
No, he
approaching
has-
this season to pad his stats?
No, I mean
Is that possible?
No, he's had worse teams. Did you remember when his first go around in Cleveland? Did you see some of those teams? You played against them.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah,
That was
really bad,
That was
real
pretty
bad,
That was
real.
pretty bad. But
And he won how many championships?
The mere fact he got him there. The man got the team to an NBA Finals at 22. The next guy that takes his team to the NBA Finals at 22.
Wait, he lost to Broccoli. How did he lose to Broccoli? He got swept by Broccoli in the finals.
With three Hall of Famers on the roster.
3 Hall of Famers you have no respect for.
The 3
you have
Hall
a little
of
respect
Fame-
for Tim Duncan.
Whoa, Skip.
But
He don't
Parker
respect
and
Tim
Ginobili,
Duncan.
he's got no respect.
Yeah, but they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
3 Hall of Famers.
Oh, now they are. They are for the sake of this conversation.
No, they were. So they weren't before?
Well, I don't think you would put them in your Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Manu Ginobili, you laugh at
The
him.
man was 22 years old. So the next 22-year-old that leads a team to the NBA Finals, y'all let me know. And his name ain't Magic.
He'd been playing for 4 years in this league. He's a veteran.
Hold up. So there are another guys that's been playing for 4 years. Jason Tatum's going to be 4 years. Yeah.
Jason Tatum's a rookie.
Now I'm saying in 4 years he'll be what? He's 19 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be 23.
All
So
right.
go on and take them Celtics.
Well, he might be in the finals this year. For
Go
all
ahead.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, he just might.
Cleveland might not.
Yeah. Hey,
Stack.
I'm just
wait,
saying.
one team
Hold up.
plays
This is the
defense.
first year I'll ever say that.
Stack. You were supposed to wait for me in my dressing room. You wasn't supposed to start before I got there. He done started before I got there. You know what I'm saying, Joy? That's what I'm talking about. I shouldn't have told him where the merchandise was. He done in the bag before he come out here and talk about, he gonna talk about Jason Tatum gonna lead the Celtics.
Well, I got news for your man LeBron James, but
What is it?
James Harden has run away and hidden from the MVP.
Man, he ain't run away, did
They already gave him the award. He's at his house
it's
already.
over. It's just over.
Stack, don't do that.
Why would you try to make this late, weak, lame case for yourself?
We ain't making no case. We just doing what we do. We just playing
that is what
basketball.
you do,
Yeah, that's all.
He didn't win the MVP a couple times. Excuse me, Skip. He didn't win the MVP a couple times when they had great records.
Yeah, I know.
For sure ain't gonna win it this year.
Yeah, because they gave it to Steph Curry averaging 20 points one year. They should have gave it to LeBron his first year back in Cleveland, but they were mad at him.
Do you
They
realize-
should have gave it to him when they gave it to D. Rose.
Yeah.
Because you remember what he did to D. Rose?
Who
in that,
was
in that-
mad at LeBron for going back to Cleveland?
They were mad at him.
Who?
Because everybody.
Nobody was
Nobody
mad
was
at
mad.
him.
Everybody was mad at him.
Miami was mad. That's about it.
With those voters. Just like he should have been that unanimous MVP and some writer gave it to Carmelo. Now say he shouldn't have been unanimous.
Well, I ain't gonna say that, but he should have got defensive player.
But
Yeah,
yet
when
with
they gave it to
Marcus
Marcus Gasol,
okay.
yeah.
Now tell the
Then
truth.
he would be right there with Mike if he had that.
Yeah, but they didn't want him to be there right there with Mike, so they shortchanged.
Oh, they did it?
They did.
Who is they?
You know the writers.
don't know.
That's why I told him not to do the dunk contest.
Oh, please.
Because they wanted to compare him to Mike. I said, don't do it, Bron.
Don't do it?
Nope.
Oh, so you were the one.
Yep.
You're the reason
even
he
when
didn't do the
Magic,
dunk contest.
even when Magic said, "I give you a meal," I said,
Yeah.
"No, we can make more money by just sitting there chilling."
So he took Nurkic's life.
Woo!
He never
Body
did a
bag.
dunk contest. He never did a dunk contest.
Oh, got Joe Harris too on Sunday.
Got Joe
he
Harris,
body
but
bagged him.
never a dunk contest.
Oh, got Jason Terry,
And got blocked by Wade twice last night.
Kelly Olynyk.
No mercy.
We're joined now by former NBA head coach Earl Watson. Welcome back, Earl.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning.
So Kevin Durant recently said this about LaVar. He said, I love LaVar. You know why I love LaVar? He reminds me of a normal AAU dad. I've seen dads like him. I grew up watching dads like LaVar, and I appreciate that because growing up, my dad really didn't come to games, so I wish I had a dad like that. Do you like that Durant said that?
Of course, Katie, I mean, you think about the game of basketball. It was invented by a Canadian, but it's perfected in the inner cities of the States. And when you have this underground basketball culture of AAU basketball, you have these dads and these parents and these brothers who at the games are very vocal. LaVar is not the loudest in the gym.
Right.
He's just a product of what he's always witnessed and experienced. So when you have that going for you, it's a lot that goes into playing the game of basketball. You got to have that motor. In the inner city, we say you got to play with that dog. Pop says you got to have that edge or play with that nastiness. LaVar brings that vocally for his kids to take it to another level because we all know a great athlete without a motor, he just teases you.
Right.
She just teases you. So you have to have that, and KD acknowledges that.
Can we find a balance? Can we find a balance? Is there any way we can get a balance? Or will you have to be all? Or are there any AAU dads that are good dads that are in their kids' life that's not like this?
There are some dads like that, but they're more subtle. They pull him to the side and
Right.
give him that. For me, I needed someone in the stands like that.
Right.
Because when you get on the court and you hear another dad from the other team or other parents or brothers talking to their, sibling or their little brother on the court, you're like, where's my family support? I need to hear you. And for me, that was my brothers, all 5 of them, and that was my mom. But my mom is Hispanic, so it was all in Spanish. No one understood it but me, but you need that.
Right.
And LaVar gives them that confidence when you walk into that gym and it's over 1,000 kids and 1,000 people in that gym waiting for that game to start. This is AAU basketball. The culture's It's almost like a cipher in rapping. When these rappers go do these ciphers, these underground ciphers, they come with an entourage of about 10 people.
Right.
That's your backup. That's your homeboy, your uncle, your cousin who's not really your cousin.
Right.
But you say you cousins because y'all grew up together and y'all ate together your whole life. You need that.
So to project it to now, could Lonzo use a little more of LaVar in the second row, yelling? Where like lately, LaVar hasn't been around much because he's been in Lithuania with the other two sons. So do you think Lonzo misses that?
I think he gets that phone call. I think he gets that FaceTime video, checking on his son and checking with his dad to see where they're going and how he's playing. I think what Lonzo needs more than anything, like the 10, 7, and 7 to me is impressive because of his body frame, his body structure. You can't compare him right now to Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons sat out for a year. If you really think back, Ben Simmons, his first Summer League preview was like 10, 7, and 7.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Ben Simmons we've seen today. And we all know after your first year in sports, that first summer is critical entering your second season with a professional team of lifting weights, eating right, gaining weight the right way, and building muscle.
But when you say you need that dog, or you need someone that support system, you can have that support system all you want to. But if that athlete isn't any good, all the yelling, all the screaming, all the rah, rah, rah doesn't mean anything, Earl. I understand that you had your brothers and your mom was speaking to you, but you had that in you. You had that in you.
I think Lonzo has it in him as well. I think, in basketball, you have that kid where he might have that dog in him and he might just be a great defender.
Right.
Or he has that dog in him and he might just be a great, we call it change of pace guard. He comes off the bench and change the pace, or an X factor kid that can just play above the rim. Lonzo sees the entire game. And when we start analyzing these players, you have to analyze them for who they are, not points per game. Like you get Donovan Mitchell, he's a great scorer, but there's a lot of great scorers in this league.
Right.
You get Ben Simmons, he does it all. Joel Embiid is unique. He's a unicorn. Then you have Lonzo Ball, he's coming within his own, and you compare and contrast him to other rookies on his team like Kuzma. Where can Kuzma go with his game? He's perfected his game. Lonzo still has a blank canvas, and he's dominating every aspect of the game, and he's a winner. He's the guy that makes everyone else feel better and comfortable. He's the guy that gives confidence to Kuzma, gives confidence to Julius Randle, and make their game go from ground level to elevation.
So how do we get him to shoot better from the floor? How do we get him to shoot better from the three? How do we increase that free throw percentage? You
remember when Magic Johnson's skill first came into the league, he couldn't shoot free throws. Every summer he worked on one thing, one aspect of his game. He's like, I'm gonna be a better free throw shooter. This summer, to me, Lonzo, most importantly, needs to work on his body, because the way he plays the game and he dominates every aspect, he has to be physically strong enough to withstand those hits, those rebounds, those steals, getting in the passing lane, finishing in the lane, and confident enough to withstand those hits and then get to the free throw line and have enough energy and legs to convert the free throws and also play beyond the arc.
So you've been close to the Ball family. You've watched Lonzo come up through AAU. Obviously, you're both UCLA guys. And we had you on before the year started, or at least early in the year, and you were bullish on Lonzo, even beyond how bullish I am. And I'm a big fan, and yet I go back and forth with Shannon because there have been moments this year, and albeit 20-year-old moments, when I cannot defend the lack of dog. Like it's become puppy dog too much, where Lonzo on any given night will just unplug to me. He will disconnect from the basketball game, and I can't get it through my head because I've never seen this happen before. Some nights he will come out full-on aggressive, and you saw it up close and personal and I think it was maybe for you and because of you were still coaching the Phoenix Suns, game 2 this year at Phoenix, and he goes 29, 11, and 9, and trust me, because I watched it to the end and you were sitting courtside, down the stretch, did he not just take the basketball game over? And he's attacking Tyson Chandler in the paint. 3 times he scored up and over Tyson Chandler with the game on the line, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And then he goes up to Jason Kidd. It was interesting because I think he was like lighting up for you because he loves you and believes in you. Then he goes up to Jason Kidd. He's been compared to Jason Kidd. So this is at Milwaukee. And all of a sudden, he goes 19, 12, and 13. 19, 12, and 13, makes 3 out of 5 threes with Jason Kidd sitting right there, front row and center. And is it because who's sitting there watching him? I don't know, because I can give you 10 other games where he just disconnects. And too often he'll dribble the ball up the floor slowly and half-heartedly flip it over to Kyle Kuzma on the wing, and then he'll go stand in the far corner. And when I come in here the next morning, I can't defend that because I don't know what he's doing. Like, he can attack. He can get in the lane anytime he wants to at 6'7" and make things happen. And too often, he doesn't make anything happen over long stretches of the game. What's happening? How do you explain that?
This is like a coach's meeting. When we lose a game, you're like, what happened to, whoever, what player? For me, I remove the basketball. Remove the play of the game. And you have to get into the player. You have to have a conversation with the player. What's going on in your personal life? Mm-hmm. Because obviously, as you know, sometimes you can bring that into a uniform. Mm-hmm. You can go on the court and your thoughts can get lost in what's going on at home or outside that court.
No doubt.
And for me, when I see him play, I see when those things happen, I see mental exhaustion. I see physical exhaustion. I see when he's hitting his three-point shot, his landing, when he lands is like a gymnast, like that pad is perfect. He's landing perfectly. And then I see when he's missing, he's like falling apart, like he lost his core. Core is everything in basketball. You have to have it, a great balance, the soft, the touch, the explosion, the aggressiveness, but you got to end with something finesse. Lonzo, it isn't easy being a point guard of Los Angeles Lakers. That comes with a lot of mental strain. It isn't easy being the next Magic said by Magic. So what Lonzo is going through, to me, is impressive because you never see him panic. He keeps it internal. He needs to express it and find a way to release it, but he has to come physically more prepared next season, which all rookies do. So that way he can stay engaged in all games, not just physically, because sometimes your mind will leave. You have to mentally stay in game the entire time, but physically you have to always be present.
Okay, so now back to KD's quotes. I've said several times to you, I wish LaVar had been my father. He wasn't around. So I love how much he loves his kids, but sometimes to a fault. So we've had crescendos of quotes from LaVar. And the worst of the batch, he called out, seemed like every point guard Lonzo was about to play, starting with Patrick Beverly, like, watch what my boy does to Patrick Beverly. Well, you just can't say, he's too skinny yet. He doesn't have, he can't back that up just yet. And the crescendo was when he said publicly, LaVar, that Luke Walton has lost this team. This team is quitting on Luke Walton. Well, think of the position you put your kid in that night, right? Do you think that plays into this? Do you think there's some friction going on there? What?
I think everyone sitting at this table has said something they wish they could take him back. They could have taken back. We've all been there. I think putting him in position to say, watch what my son do to... LaVar knows Patrick Beverly is a dog.
Right.
Does he?
I need you to beat up my son because in 3 to 5 years from now, Patrick Beverly will not have an existence with Alonzo on the court. Lonzo's going to be so much better, stronger, faster. I seen KD, who was my rookie in Seattle, transition to OKC. We played against Raja Bell. We know Raja Bell takes his mental game to another level.
Right.
He'll punch you, whatever it takes. He's a dog. KD couldn't get open. KD would get open his rookie year, catch it, try to make a move on Raja and fall down and lose the ball and travel. I look at Raja looked at me, he was like, hey, what you want me to do? I said, nothing, continue to do that. He has to learn. We're playing against Matt Barnes, who was my teammate in college. Devin Booker, first play of the game, Devin's rookie year. Matt takes a hard foul across the face, the chin of Devin. Devin pushes him. Matt runs over to me, was like, that's how you taught us to do it, right? I'm like, you have to. Don't slow down on him. The next time we faced them was the end of the season of his second season, Devin Booker's second season. ISO Matt, game winner, walked off the court like he knew it was going to happen. You have to go through those trials and tribulations as a young player. And sometimes your parents or your father or your brother might drop you off in the inner city and put you on that court on the playground. Basketball is a playground game. If you can't handle the inner city and you can't handle talking, and you can't handle sometimes a couple of fist fights, this is the wrong sport for you.
Well, do you think LaVar's master plan was to call out Patrick Beverly in game number 1 so that he could teach Lonzo a lesson on opening night at Staples? I mean, that's some tough stuff, man. That's hard on that kid.
It's not easy being the best player in the world. And if you want to be the best player in the world, you got to go through some battles like that. Like for me, my son is 3. I'm most definitely going to put him in that situation. Because if you can't handle that situation, then you won't ever become the best player in the world. If you can't handle getting hit sometimes, I had to set a cross screen on Charles Oakley my rookie year. And Nate McMillan kept calling the call. I'm looking like, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do. You gotta hit him. KG, my rookie year, set a screen on me and separated my shoulder. I was out for 3 months. I'm on the ground. I am pissed. The next time I seen KG and he set a screen, I took the hardest foul across his neck and just raised my hand. KG looked at me, started talking crazy. I'm from the hood too. I start talking crazy. We never had any more problems since that moment. Now I've seen Magic on TV, and he's great in front of the camera. And then I seen Magic in the gym playing pickup. I had to look back twice to see if that was Magic.
Does Lonzo have that in him? See, I know what you say, but see, you raised up in the hood. They in Chino Hills. That's a different area of the woods, bro.
Hey, I was raised up in the hood. My son is definitely in the suburbs. But the apple don't fall too far from the tree. LaVar's not from Chino.
He's not.
He's not from Chino. That family's not from Chino. And now he has to give it to him, whether it's by supplements or putting him exactly in that neighborhood. And Chino's not that neighborhood.
Right.
So he's giving it to him in other ways.
So Shannon Sharp,
Yes.
bottom line, Lonzo Ball does not have that dog anywhere inside him to reach for?
He might got it, but he need to put it might be in his toes. And it's got to come up a long way. Because he different. I mean, his makeup and the way he carries himself is different than LaVar. LaVar, you know LaVar.
I don't know. He's got it off the court, though. He's rapping. He's got, the kids love him. He's got to bring some of it on the court.
See, okay, you were that guy. I'm the guy. They drop me off. I'll be back to pick you up later. I'm cool. I don't know if he that guy that you going to drop off and say, nah, Dad, I'm some kids you drop off at school and they cool. Yeah. Some kids run behind their parents to go with them.
Well, we'll find out. Earl, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
Hey guys, it's Joy Taylor. Before we get back to the show, I wanted to tell you about a new podcast that every baseball fan needs to download, the MLB Whip Around podcast, hosted by Kevin Burkhardt. The MLB Whip Around podcast features the best discussions from expert analysts like Alex Rodriguez, Dontrell Willis, and Frank Thomas, with new episodes 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. It's a one-stop shop for all your baseball needs. Subscribe and download for free today on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now let's get back to Undisputed.
No mercy.
There's a new book about Tiger Woods that includes some very interesting stories about Tiger and Michael Jordan. Tiger's former lawyer allegedly told him in 1996 that he should avoid Jordan. Yeah, that Jordan would try to use Tiger, but Tiger mostly ignored the advice because he idolized Jordan. Tiger's camp came out this week and criticized the book, saying some of the information is, quote, flat out made up. Shannon, what's your take on this?
Well, I wish it came out and said that information is flat out made up, because they said some, but maybe not that. Hold on. Now, this guy, the guy that they interviewed for this part was the family attorney. Am I correct?
Yep.
So I believe he would be speaking from firsthand knowledge.
Okay.
What I don't get is that what would Michael Jordan in 1996 stand to gain from chummying up with a new pro golfer? Tiger Woods was not the Tiger Woods that we know now. Michael Jordan was at the apex. He is the only guy at that time that could have possibly told Tiger, this is what, if you're going to be what everybody thinks you're going to be, this is what your life is going to be like. He was the only man that could have told Tiger this. And in some of the excerpts I've read that he's like, Tiger wanted to be a recluse. Michael is talking, saying Tiger wanted to be a recluse.
That was Michael's quote.
Right.
Yeah.
He wanted to go play golf and then go back to the hotel room. He's like,
And Jordan said you can't do that. He said you lose your sense of society.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I get it, but I don't get what he stood. And Skip, the thing is that when you're going through something, I was very fortunate. I had a brother that was 3 years older than I, so he could give me some lessons about what it was like for me to go to college.
Yeah. You were blessed that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it going to be like for me going into the NFL?
Yeah.
So I can let,
It also put different pressure on you.
Exactly. Yeah. Skip, okay, granted, he might have took up, it's all for me. To make a long story short, because I really want to hear what you have to say. It seems like they're blaming Michael Jordan for Tiger Woods' pitfall.
A little bit they are, yep.
And
That he led him down that path.
Tiger brought this on himself. If all Tiger had to do, Tiger wasn't ready to get married. Tiger could have done all the things that he was doing while he was married. He could have done that as a single man, and nobody would have batted an eye. Because there's a lot of people that's become famous because of how many people they bed.
What did Earl Woods say again and again and again about his son? I don't want him to get married until he's at least 30 years of age.
Yeah.
Tiger defied that and went ahead, and you know the rest of the story.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and people got so upset because he was portraying one life, but he was living another life.
He portrayed he was the perfect husband and father.
Yes.
And I think he is a really good father, but the other part of it, not so much.
But if you're going to get married, you've got to have certain elements of your life under control.
Yeah.
Clearly, Tiger didn't have that under control.
No. So, I was very close to all this because I was around Michael Jordan a lot in 1997, 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, through the end of his Chicago Bulls career. And to your point, I think it started happening after the Masters, which would have been 97. The breakout. Just that's the most shocking sports phenomenon I think I've ever witnessed. And I remind you, Michael Jordan loves golf and gambling on golf almost as much as he loved winning basketball games.
Yes.
It's close.
Yes.
And now it's all golf for him.
Yes.
But he loved to smoke cigars and gamble big amounts of money because he had money to spend and burn on golf. And it is the ultimate clutch or not clutch, where it's all you versus yourself.
Yes.
As you know, that little ball sits on that tee and it doesn't move until you move. Nobody's going to hit it to you and you hit it back.
Right.
You have to hit it.
Right.
So he loved the personal challenge of this. And he loved to gamble at golf against that kid Tiger Woods. So they played a whole lot of golf together for high stakes, which was good for Tiger because it's
precious moments.
It's just good.
You betting 10,000, 20,000 a hole, Skip. Now.
You got it. And obviously there were strokes given to Michael Jordan because he's obviously not as good. I don't know. Michael's like, I don't know, maybe he's a 4 or 5 at that point. I watched him some in the amateur tournaments and it was a little shaky, but he at certain points he thought he could play professional golf. Wrong. He could play professional basketball though.
Yeah.
So the quote from the Vegas Insider is true. I'm going to quickly read it. This is about Michael Jordan during this time. This is in the late 90s.
Yes.
Okay? So there's no social media. Everybody protected Michael back then because he was the best ever. I agree. Nobody ever talked about what he did after hours. Nobody ever told on Michael. Everybody was scared of Michael, and Tiger learned from him. Okay? I'll give you that much, that in that day and age, because I was around Michael a lot, he got away with quote-unquote murder after hours.
Yes.
Because his image was pristine.
Yes.
He was Space Jam. You know, he was, after every game, we talked about it yesterday, he would dress to the nines for the media. Boy, he looked sensational.
Correct.
He cut a great figure. You know, he was the essence of the Jordan brand that he was building.
Correct.
So after hours, everybody would protect him because he was pretty intimidating. I got to tell you, if you knew him, he was bad, you know what.
Yeah.
You know? And so he got away with that until he was finished playing, and then some of the tabloids started to break the stories. And once those stories started breaking, it was Tiger-esque what started coming out because Michael was no angel when it came to being married, and every other night it was this, that, and the other.
Correct.
Maybe every night it was. So you can say Tiger learned something from that, but I'm going to remind everyone, and I was also close to this, his father, Earl Woods, was a legendary womanizer. You can just look it up. And because Tiger watched that through his childhood, that's just how Earl was. He had girlfriends, he had women on the side, that Tiger learned that's just kind of how men are.
Right.
And once Tiger started to win and he became Tiger Woods.
The world was his oyster.
Was it? Not. What's the Chris Rock line? A man is only as faithful as his options. Well, did Tiger Woods not have options? He had the most options this side of Michael Jordan, right?
Yes.
So, again, by hanging with Jordan and Charles Barkley, I'm going to throw them all together in this mix, in Vegas, did he learn some bad habits that you could get away with whatever you want to get away with because you were Tiger Woods? Yes. But was it already instilled in him what men do? I just believe it was. So I'm not going to blame Michael Jordan for the downfall.
But I'm saying, Skip, you can see, okay, while this person can talk to you and says, okay, this is possibly what you're going to go through. As you look, even that if Michael was doing that, you can say that's not right. Even if your dad was doing that, you can say that's not right,
I'm with
and
you.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I
you
agree.
don't get to look back and say, okay, because this happened, it happened because of what Michael did or because what his dad did. At that point in time, Tiger Woods is a grown man. He's capable of making decisions, very informed decisions. He wasn't ready to be married, and I don't know why he did it. Because you must have certain elements of your life under control. And he didn't have that element under control. And he was growing up in a different time and a different era. This social media. And I told him a long time ago, they could have found bin Laden a long time ago if they'd found a woman. Because where they found him? They're going to find your social security number, they're going to get that passcode, and that's what Ellen did. Ellen best right got that phone, Skip, and it was Katie Bardo. And once she got that phone, she got that golf club, because you know Tiger, he played golf, so he got a lot of golf clubs around his house, Joy. And she took it to that Escalade.
She did.
And Tiger tried to get up out of there in a hurry. They say he was spinning all up in Ellsworth. And she was just rat-a-tat-tat with that 7-iron. Is that club? Well, I don't know about it, but a driver, Skip. But they say she would beat the brakes off that Escalade.
Or a 9-iron.
We had one of them, but she took something. She took a golf club to that Escalade.
She did.
Yeah.
The Escalade hit the fire hydrant, and the rest is scandalous history.
Because Skip, once it comes out that he's done this, and okay, well, she got this. Well, if you don't pay me to be quiet, I'm gonna get that. So everybody starts talking, and maybe Elon could have forgave one. Maybe if it's just one. But then it come 5, 6, and then you got them up. You got bringing one from Perkins. You ain't mean to tell me you ain't go to no good brunch spot.
From Perkins to your to her bedroom.
At least go to Ritz-Carlton or the Waldorf and get somebody one of them for brunch. You know, he get him a Perkins one and take it to her bed. And she, he real lucky. You know, Joy, he real lucky. Cause Rochelle would have set fire to him. She'd have knocked fire from Tiger. Tiger got real lucky with that one.
No, well, I think she was trying to knock fire.
Oh, she knocked $100 million fire from him.
Well, again, the point was in this that the description of Michael Jordan is aloof, arrogant star who embraced the word entitled with the capital E. Well, I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll buy that. That was actually part and parcel of why he dominated the sport.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Skip, here's the thing, Skip. The image that most people have of Michael and the people that know Michael that have been around Michael are totally different. Totally different. If you're around Michael, you know how he is.
Yeah, or we could, stop pretending like Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, who has everything available to him and every person in the world available to him, is going to be held to the same standard that the rest of us are.
Right.
And Tiger Woods is the same. Yeah. It's a little judgmental, all the stuff that's going on here, but the idea that Tiger Woods could get better advice about being a superstar than from Michael Jordan is kind of silly.
But the last thing I got, the family attorney said that he warned Tiger that Michael is going to try to use you. No, he's not.
To do what?
He's not. He's going to try to glom on to you.
Maybe, he wanted some golf advice.
Well, maybe, yeah.
The secrets.
But he meant to try to gain more notoriety.
No, it's
I don't
silly.
think so.
1996, Michael Jordan needs something from someone.
Michael was playing Augusta before Tiger was. So he could go any golf course in America and play. He didn't need Tiger.
No mercy.
Is Odell Beckham going Hollywood? The New York Daily News reports Odell has told multiple Rams players that he, quote, wants in on a trade to L.A. Earlier this week, Giants co-owner John Mara said Odell is not on the trading block, but Adam Schefter reported the Giants want at least 2 first-round picks for him. And Todd Gurley was asked about it and said, quote, it would be awesome. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst, the Rambassador, Eric Dickerson.
The Rambassador. Love it.
How did I get that name?
Very unbiased, Eric Dickerson.
I've got to give it to you, Skip. You gave me that name.
It stuck.
It stuck.
It works.
It stuck.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we're going to start off with, this offseason has been so good for us. I just got to say it. I mean, we're more popular than the Cowboys right now.
I would say you are.
Wouldn't you
You're
say
on
that?
the verge.
Like
If you add Odell, of course.
Well,
Eric, is Odell a good or bad fit for the Rams?
I like Odell a lot. I like him. I think he's a great football player. but we don't need Odell. We really
Whoa!
We don't. I mean, we don't. I'm happy with our receivers. I mean, we might could add a guy, but I mean,
Are you saying you don't need the headaches that he would bring with him?
possibly. And I would say for sure that that's one thing we don't need. I mean, one thing when you talk about the Los Angeles Rams and you go into their locker room, this is a very close-knit football team. We have a young quarterback. We don't need a guy. And I'm not saying like it wouldn't help us. It would help us, but I think in the long run it might hurt us because we're going to get him for maybe 2 years. And that's about it, to be honest with you. I mean, would he fit in the locker room? Maybe, but I'm serious. I would have to pass. The most important thing for the Los Angeles Rams right now is to sign Aaron Donald. Let's just put that on hold right now. Put Odell on hold. That's the most important thing that we should get done. They should have did that last year. Get him signed, get that out the way, and get that money already allocated to him, and be done with that. Because now we have Ndamukong Suh, which I think is going to be a great addition to our defense, and that's why we need depth. We need depth on defense. We're hurting at linebacker. We need more offensive linemen. I mean, because when you look at the Dallas Cowboys football team last year, what hurt them? Not having depth, losing offensive linemen. The Philadelphia Eagles, the reason I think they won the Super Bowl, and I took them with no points, I said, I'm going to take them straight up. Then I,
You got your money? You got your ball of money?
No, I can't get my money from Joy. I don't know what's up.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I pay up in time.
Okay, all right. I think the thing that helped them was the depth that they had on defense, that defensive line. So do we need Odell? Let's go back to Odell. Do we need Odell? Like I said, I like Odell. I think he's a great player. But coming to Los Angeles, I mean, I think it'll be Hollywood and all that kind of stuff. I think it'll be too much. And we just don't need that right now. That's just my opinion.
No, they don't need him. I mean, you talk about, you don't know what they would bring to the locker room. You do know y'all signed Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
Y'all signed to leave. Y'all signed Marcus Peters. So y'all already got a locker room that's going to be a handful. Now, and I get Odell possibly coming in, but if you're not going to get Odell a contract extension, Skip, leave Odell where he is. You let the Giants deal with that headache.
Yep.
And I'm afraid they will be unable to sign him because, as ED said, 9-9 has to eat first.
Yep.
So I don't know how much money you're going to have left over.
Right.
Because when you give him his $70 million guaranteed, now Todd Gurley going to want a little something. Todd Gurley say, oh, hey, what about your boy? Jerry Goff got two. So you got two, basically another year before you got to do something with Jerry Goff. So I don't know how you fit it. Now, do I think he would make them more explosive offensively? They were the number one scoring team last year. Absolutely. But that's a lot. Now, you better be careful. There are some teams that have some ammunition. If I'm the 49ers, I ain't saying nothing. I beat y'all to the punch.
On Odell.
Odell.
They might try.
Put Jimmy Garoppolo and Odell together.
Okay. The Jets got nothing but cap room, and the Browns got nothing but draft picks to give up.
But right? I don't think the Giants would trade him to the Jets.
I don't think so either.
Even though it's a different conference, Skip.
But remember, half of this equation is where will Odell agree to go? Even though he doesn't have a trade veto power in his contract, he's the kind of kid who just say, okay, I quit. I won't play.
Do you think he'd waive to go to San Francisco? Given that situation with Kyle Shanahan is an offensive mind?
Maybe.
That would be a good spot.
Look at Julio Jones' numbers with Kyle Shanahan.
But the dream destination is Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know it, and I know it. And I got to applaud, Mr. Rambassador, what your organization is doing, starting with Les Snead and Kevin Demoff and your owner and your 32-year-old head coach. They're just saying, let's just go for broke, man.
There you go.
They're just saying, win now. The NFL stands for not for long. You get one little crack here, and if the window opens for 1 year with Odell, I'm just doing it. I'm plunging because I have covered your Rams way before your time when they played at the Coliseum the first time around, and it got sleepy out there. And maybe it sometimes gets a little sleepy now, but there's momentum. They're a team on the verge. Number one scoring offense, and all of a sudden with Wade Phillips coaching this defense, because Wade can flat out coach it.
Oh, yeah,
you give him a little, you give him two corners like that, and you give him a little bit of a pass rush, and he is going to come down your throat with that defense. You know this. I can't.
Oh,
think, I can't.
Hey, I'm just smiling. I didn't say nothing.
I can't think of a better coordinator I could hand this group to than Wade Phillips. And the young offensive coordinator / head coach he's an outside-the-box thinker, and I love what they did with the young quarterback. He turned around the whole career of the young quarterback who looked like a bust for a year, and he turned around the whole career of that young running back who didn't look very good the year before, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's all on the verge of explosion.
Yep.
And if Odell comes to Hollywood, it's nuclear media explosion. And during camp, the destination for all the national media would be here to go. Where do they train? I can't remember where they go. Do they go out to?
They go out to Irvine.
Irvine. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Irvine would be the
Hard
destination.
Knocks. Well, they just did Hard
They
Knocks.
did Hard Knocks 2
They
years
did
ago.
2 years
Y'all, so y'all don't, you don't want that no more, huh?
But you know,
we need to win.
there's a lot to. I get your depth point. I get it, but there's a lot to right place, right time, right feel, right momentum, and the explosion would be with Odell. And I get, like, can I make a case that Gronk would be a little more valuable? The problem with Gronk is I just don't know how long he stays healthy, because you look at the litany of injuries, and it's just scary because he's had like everything go wrong with it.
I agree with you. I think Gronk would be better served, but do you really want Gronk? Because Gronk going to be doing movies
maybe.
on his day off and as soon
I don't know.
as
Well,
practice is
and
over.
our coach likes tight end, but we drafted 3 tight ends. We just drafted Gerald Everett with our
Yeah.
second pick, and that was like our number 1 pick.
Okay, and
so,
Tyler Higbee was your leading receiver at tight end.
Receiving tight end.
Okay, but look, you lost Sammy Watkins, so he was your deep threat. Well, this Odell, when his head is right, is he not like the ultimate deep threat in pro football?
Yeah,
I mean,
and what did you just say? When his
head
head
is
is
right.
right.
Well, I don't know.
When his head is right.
Okay, but
we can't take a chance on somebody's head being right.
okay, but I do love a kid like Odell with a chip on his shoulder, like, I'm going to show you New York. Watch this.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like, you're like when mama say, I'm going to whoop you.
Yeah.
I'm going to whoop you. Then all of a sudden she show up with the bill like, oh, she really coming this time. I feel like, because when they say Cleveland, I know. Can you see Odell in Cleveland?
No.
No. Yeah, you can't see
No.
Odell in Cleveland.
No.
I can see him in San Francisco. I can see him. I can't even the Jets. I couldn't even see that.
No, I couldn't either.
I can't see
I would
that.
agree.
So, I mean, would he help our football team? Most definitely he would help our football team. We'll get him. I'll just say for 2 years, our main concern is signing Aaron Donald.
Okay,
I go back
got
to
it.
that.
But
I have to go there.
At some point, you just figure that out. Like you just say,
Well, they
let's
should have
go.
figured out they should have
Okay,
figured out
well,
last
they
year, 2
didn't.
years ago.
They did not.
Exactly.
Okay, but you could, if you could get the Giants desperate enough in the hour before the draft that they would take your 23rd overall just straight up, then it's worth. You got him under contract for what? One more
This
year.
year.
And you just say, let's just go figure it out. Let's just see how we could do this.
And then we'll do franchise next year.
You
Franchise
could.
next year. Yeah, so we'd have.
But he said he's not playing without a contract extension.
Yeah, everybody say that.
Yeah,
Look,
but
I'm
we
gonna
would
tell you
send
something.
him to Hollywood.
It ain't $20 million laying on the street. Like, ain't a lot of $20 million jobs laying out there. Like, I'm gonna sit out. I ain't gonna take this $20 million. That's what they'd offer him.
Oh, that what they offer?
I think they'd offer him that his second year. He'd have to somewhere
Hey,
around there.
listen, with Odell in that offense, with Gurley, and with your young quarterback who's got a big arm, think of defensive coordinators saying, God, how do we stop this? And I get Gronk can be a monster. He's a double coverage monster. But Odell can run past anybody. He's got like crazy speed
He's
to
fast.
me.
He's
Yeah.
fast. He is fast. But I'll say it again. If we just, I like him. I do. Man, I wish we could.
I think I just talked you into
No,
it.
you ain't talking about
Odell,
I like him.
Talib, Peters, and Sue.
Yeah. I told you, we need depth. We need what we got.
It's a media dream team because it would be a story a day.
Yeah.
Well, they better win.
Yeah.
They better win.
That's what we need. The most important thing for the Los Angeles Rams is to win football games and to get back. Make sure this wasn't a fluke from last year. 'Cause that's what people gonna say. Oh man, that was just a fluke from last year. If they come out hot and winning, then people start believing that for real. First of all, we have a $5 billion stadium that they've got to try to get filled. They got to sell those seats.
Odell.
Well,
That's another thing.
I mean, Odell's get your
Odell-
popcorn.
When is it for? It's another
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
2
And then you gonna get the Super Bowl out here after the
Olympics, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When you gonna buy your seats, Skip?
I'm going to get
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we'll buy seats.
buy
We're getting
seats.
tickets from you.
I wish I might
Excuse
buy.
me?
Joy, I can't get you to pay up your bet, Joy.
I will. I'm good for it.
I will.
You actually keep pushing.
No,
pushing
what
you off.
I do is I do double or nothing, and then I get out
I
of it.
tell you what I do though, Joy. I'll let you out this bet. If you can talk him into racing me.
See, I spoke it into existence.
See?
I can make that. No, I'm going to do that.
Come on, Joy,
I'm going to set
you
it up
can
and
do
set it
it.
up for charity, and then he's not going to be able to wiggle his way out
That's
of
it.
it.
We'll do it for charity.
Eric, you're
Yeah,
so,
me. I'm charity.
Well, I'm scared.
you're going to need charity afterwards.
I'm going to blow the nose.
You don't want
Eric, you're so calm and reasonable and thinking so long term about your Rams. You got to just go for it.
Look, it's all about right now. You know, right now. We need to win now.
Right. Odell could help you do that.
Like I say, we don't want to put the horse before the bus, the horse before the cart, and all that kind of stuff. No,
The cart before the horse.
cart before the horse. Yeah, we got it backwards. Yeah, but no.
Well, you ain't going to see your Rams when you race with me. In the hospital, pull hamstring. Off the bone.
Shit. Let's ask one more time. What did you run your 40 in? Let's go back to that.
ED.
Answer my question.
ED, you hadn't run a 40 since
Answer
in
my
40
question.
years.
Now, I haven't run a 40 in 40. What did you run your 40 in?
My fastest time ever was 4.53.
Now, the other day was 4.6 something.
No,
Now, keep going.
I ran 4.6 at the combine.
And that means 4.7. That was the real time.
No. You know
That's the real time. 4.78.
At your pro day, the Dallas Cowboys got you in 4.8.
Oh, that's more like it.
I know that.
Joe, I think you could outrun him.
Yeah.
Oh, I could run both of you. I'm not worried about that.
This is what I know.
The only person in the stable I can't outrun is Skip, and that's because he runs every day.
Here's the thing. Now, there is tape.
Wait. Scott, stop. What you say?
Skip runs every day.
You can outrun everybody else at this table?
I mean, come on, let's be serious.
You want some of this too, Joe?
Are you joking?
Oh, I'm this. You want some? I'll take you too.
Skip.
Joey, there's tape.
Yes.
Skip.
There's tape.
Come on.
Skip. There's
I'll
tape.
take you two on.
You just stepped over
What about
the
the
line.
tape? What about that tape of you getting run down from behind?
How fast? Who ran me down?
I don't
We
know.
gotta leave it there. Eric, thanks for joining us.
No mercy.
The Cowboys have talked about making their offense more Dak-friendly this offseason. Now, Executive Vice President Stephen Jones is comparing Dak to two of the Cowboys' most famous quarterbacks ever, Tony Romo and Troy Aikman. Let's take a listen.
Well, I think he's the key. You know, at the end of the day, he's a big part of it, and it all starts with him. He's the trigger guy, and I think we can do some things to help him more. I think Dak's a guy that's a little different than Tony, probably more like Troy in terms of the passing game. He wants precise routes. He wants to throw the ball, on time to areas. And whereas Tony would improvise a little more, not that Dak can't improvise, but I think Dak is a little more disciplined in terms of wanting the receivers to be good route runners and be where they're supposed to be, those type of things. And now, at the same time, does he need to work on being able to improvise a little more? Of course.
Shannon, do you like Stephen Jones saying this?
What are you laughing at? There's nothing funny about
Because
that.
your guy, no, I don't like that he said this. Skip, why is it that it always seems like in one breath they're praising him, but at the same time they're slapping him in his mouth?
I don't know.
Skip, why do they do that?
I didn't get that.
Hold on, first of all, shouldn't you want him to be more like Troy Aikman? Troy Aikman just did win you 3 Super Bowls.
Well, he is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but he what quarterback does not want his receivers to run crisp routes? I go 5, I want the ball to come out. I want the receiver to be where it's supposed to be. If I go 5 in a hitch, I go 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. But in the same breath, he's taking a shot at Dez Bryant too. You notice that, Skip?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Oh, Tony,
Yeah.
Skip. Now, you say one of the best plays that Dak Prescott made this year is when the play broke down, he rolled out of the pocket and threw the ball down the field to Bryce Butler. We just saw it in the video.
We just saw the
That was improvised. Now, Tom Brady is not the greatest improviser. He throws from the pocket. Okay.
I'm not sure he ever really improvised.
But there have been times, but if Tom Brady needs to get out the pocket or to buy time, he can do that.
Got pretty good pocket feet, yeah.
But Skip, you don't win championships by improvising. I mean, maybe the greatest improviser, maybe Brett Favre. Okay, but
I think Cam could.
Yeah, but you're not gonna make a living.
No.
You're gonna have to learn how to throw the ball from the pocket. But it seems to me is that they're always giving Dak these backhanded compliments. We need to make the offense more Dak friendly. He needs to learn how to improvise better. Wait a minute. They cannot get over, Skip. They are still upset that they lost to Green Bay at home. They still want Tony Romo as their quarterback. Steven and Jerry
You think
Jones.
so?
Steven.
I don't think Steven does. Jerry might.
Why would you even mention Tony Romo? Tony Romo's never won nothing. He's never gotten you past the divisional. And you mention him in the same breath as Troy Aikman? I'm sure there's a lot of fans, these millennials, they love Tony Romo. But Tony Romo will never be revered like Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman.
Agreed.
Because they won those Lombardis. And for Jerry Jones to heap so much praise on Tony, box office. Skip.
By the way, Roger Staubach in his early years, he could really
Yes.
improvise. He was Roger the Dodger. He could run, but go ahead.
Captain comeback and all. But Skip, what is it about? You do realize Dak is only going into his third year, and you want him to be polished like a Troy. I don't get that. Why you just can't let him be and say he's growing? It's whatever Dak does is not good enough. I don't care. Jerry wants Tony Romo. I guess because Dak is just button up. He has no splash. There's no pizzazz. What you see is what you get.
That is true.
Let me do my job.
Yep.
I'm going home.
Yep.
Where, Tony Romo's all over the field. He's pumping the ball one way and he's doing all. That's not who this kid is. Most quarterbacks will tell you, when I take that fifth step, if you're supposed to be 12, I need you at 12. If I take that fifth step in a hitch and you're supposed to be 42 and 4, 42 yards deep, 4 yards from the sideline, that's where I need you to be. I'm sorry. I don't want to run a route, Skip. And I've played with some guys that I run a route and I'm looking for the quarterback thinking he's in the pocket, and I don't know where he is. That's no fun.
No fun.
So, Steven, I know you think that might be fun and that's pizzazz, but that's not going to win you a championship.
It is box office. Romo was huge box office.
Yeah.
Because you never knew when he would self-destruct. Because he would. You just had to wait for it.
You remember that, your favorite improvisational game?
505?
Yeah, 5 TDs. And what did he do, Skip?
When you least expected, or actually when you should have expected it, they get the ball back with a chance to go score, and he throws it to the Denver Broncos, to Trevathan. Right away. Boom, right to Trevathan. And you're like, it's almost like he was the primary receiver on the play. Great. And Peyton Manning and company get a little walk-off chip shot field goal, and it's 52 to 49?
51-48.
51-48. Way to go, Tony. That's the essence of Tony Romo. That's the classic Tony Romo game. So, obviously, I covered those Troy Aikman years. Let me tell you, the greatest thing about Troy Aikman was he was a raging perfectionist. To your point, be there. Be there. We're going to practice this till you get it. On the step, on the inch, you got to hit it there and be there because the ball's going to be there. And he was deadly accurate, as you know. And if you let Troy get his planets aligned around him, he was robo quarterback. He would pick you to pieces.
Yep.
But he was never a big sensational stats guy because they were a running football team.
That is correct.
So the most touchdown passes Troy ever threw in a year were 23 in 1992, that breakout season in which they went and won a Super Bowl. People thought they were about a year away from being able to win.
Right.
When they went and got Charles Haley right before the season started. 23 touchdowns. Well, Peyton came along and threw 55 touchdowns, which is the record. And once upon a time, Brady, throwing to Randy Moss, threw 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
55, 50, and Troy's most was 23. But he's in the Hall of Fame because he's got rings. Right?
Yep.
And he had a running game. He had, arguably, he had the greatest running back ever when it comes to stats, the most yards ever.
Most
and
rush touchdowns.
And to me, that offensive line, I'm just not sure there's a better one ever than that offensive line.
I agree with you.
And to me, I've made the case before on this show. What do I say about Michael Irvin? He's my all-time best receiver and the best clutch receiver ever. And you want to talk about rapport? You want to talk about Romo-Dez rapport at an even higher level, at a more precise level? Because Romo to Dez was just jump ball throwing.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll just throw it up.
You look at what the Cowboys were known for was that what they call a bang eight or a skinny post.
Yep.
Troy Aikman, when that fifth step hit,
Lethal.
Michael knew he had to cross the corner's face, and it was there. When he threw that 5 and rolled it in the 12, the square out, Michael knew.
And
I got to
Michael
hit
might give you a
He
little
pushed
push.
you down.
Just a little push here or there, but that's okay.
But Troy,
Separation.
he knew.
Yep.
Troy was all rhythm. You watch Troy in Noah Turner system, it's 1, 2, 3, the ball's gone.
And by the way, Troy for a while had a wide receiver of a tight end named Jaden Ovechek who could flat out fly.
Yep.
He was
so shifty and subtle with it. And Alvin Harper, he only ran a few routes, but when they threw the skinny, when they threw the post, it was there. Because the play when that broke San Francisco, he hit
when they broke through in '92 in the NFC Championship game
him on the
at
backside.
Candlestick. Boom to Alvin Harper.
Hit him on the backside.
Won the game, sent him to the Super Bowl that they won handily. So Troy Aikman was, again, all Stephen was saying was that Dak is more like Troy. I hope he turns out to be Troy Aikman.
Right.
That'd be something.
Right.
Because that would mean you're in the Hall of Fame.
He has improvisational skills.
He does.
You hope you don't, but you don't call plays hoping your quarterback has to
Okay?
improvise.
Just remember, Troy Aikman was a huge man. He was 6'4". I don't know what he ended up weighing, 245 or 50, but he was just big boned,
Right.
raw boned, stood strong in the pocket. But he could see.
Right.
Dak is 6'2", so he's 2 inches shorter. But Troy had no escapability. He just didn't even try.
Right.
He didn't do that.
Right.
There's not quickness or speed. He could move a little
Yes.
bit in the pocket. But to your point, it better come out on rhythm. Because if
Yes.
it comes out on rhythm, one year he led the league with 69% completions because that was robo quarterback.
Exactly.
I'm with Steven that you've got to get Dak to improvise a little bit more because he's a big man who can also move. I'm not saying he's Michael Vick, but he can move a little bit.
Yeah, he can
So
move.
I want to see a little more read option with Zeke, just a little more here and there, just to keep people honest. A little more rollout because he seems at least as comfortable rolling out, naked bootleg, whatever you want to do, as he is standing in the pocket.
He's only in his 3rd year.
Okay, thank you. gonna
No,
have
you need to tell Stephen Jones that.
Oh, I need to tell you that half the time
Whoa,
on the show.
But Skip. But even freshmen and sophomores in college, they get failing grades. So I just want you to know
You
that.
effed him.
Oh, are you going soft on Dak
Yeah.
now?
No.
Professor Sharp gave Dak Prescott an F
Yeah, I don't.
for a season in which he had the 4th best QBR in all of football.
If you don't
How
listen
do
to that
figure
participation, you don't get no good grade just for coming to class. I need to see some work. Need some
Okay.
time to work. No
Well,
punctuation, no
okay.
misspellings and
I
punctuation.
just went over Troy Aikman's supporting cast. Now let's look at what Dak had last year. No Zeke for 6 games. And Des Bryant was just a disaster, a shell of himself. The offensive line didn't live up. And help me out, did they have any receiver who could separate anywhere? Anybody? Was Jason Witten and Jay Novacek? I don't think so.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. You keep talking about you want Dez to improvise. What about you get some routes of receivers that run crisp routes?
I would
How about that?
love that.
He ain't mentioned, but he took a shot. He like Troy liked his guys to run crisp routes, and Dak likes the same thing. He was said, we ain't got no receiver run no crisp routes.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sure Alan Hearns and Deontay Thompson are those guys. I'm not sure. We'll see.
I don't know why they keep talking about Dak like Dak good player, man. Dak good people.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's good people because he won you over on the airplane.
Yeah,
Right?
that's really
Wentz.
what it is. He gave him an F for the year last year. But
Wentz, now he real. That dude real. He fine.
man.
Real.
Yeah,
You want to
he
get
fine.
Shannon on your side?
Huh. How did
Go
Wentz
up.
do in his rookie year? How was that?
No, he had a little setback.
They make the
But
playoffs?
guess what? You know what they did, Skip?
What?
They went and got him some
They
weapons.
got him some help. They did.
Did Dak call you Unc?
Nah. You know, me and Dak, we were just talking about, play calls and stuff like that in the game. And I told him
giving
how
him
it
a
was
little
gonna-
advice?
Yeah, tell him how it's going to play out.
Did you tell him?
Woo!
Did you tell him it's all about Pennsylvania?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
No, you did not.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us again at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Monday for another full week of Undisputed. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.